for the opportunity given to me for a short speech about the progress of energy transition in my country, Indonesia. To put my story in context with India Smart Utility Week, I shall start with comparison between India and Indonesia. As you know, India has a population of 1.4 billion people, while Indonesia has only 278 million people. The land we have one-third of India. India has 3.3 million kilometers square. Indonesia has 1.9 million square. 60% of it are water, sea, different with India. Our annual emissions, India 2,277 million ton of CO2 as 2,000 million ton of CO2. Our GDP comparison is India 1.6 trillion US dollar, Indonesia is 1.24 trillion. So there are a lot of commonalities between India and Indonesia. And another commonalities is that common enabler of energy transition in both countries have enjoyed a steady economic growth. And I need to emphasize this because it will put a different color in our approach in energy transition. We know that India has been known worldwide to embark in aggressive energy transition. I was mouth-gutted when I first learned that India has set up a very ambitious goal of 100 gigawatt of renewables by 2020. While at that time, Indonesia has only got less than 10,000 megawatt of renewables. But despite all these commonalities, we are not as high as India in climbing the stairs. India perhaps is already several rounds above us, while we are starting our first round in climbing this. And one stark difference is the fact that Indonesia has been known as primary energy exporter. And this is the main stem to our economic growth. So in order not to shoot our own feet in pursuing the transitional energy goals, we move more cautiously. We learn meticulously on what India has progressed so far and try to establish our own path in this. Several international agencies has provided their insight to government of Indonesia. Let's start with IEA, for instance. IEA has stated as a common statement with the government of Indonesia that net zero emission of the year 2060, which Indonesia has embarked, promised in the Shopping 26, is indeed an ambitious but achievable target. And IEA recognized that energy efficiency and electrification are the major priorities in Indonesia. In the near term, in a near term only, a policy to push is needed to drive growth of renewables. There is a common understanding, no need for new coal plants because the existing projects in the pipeline is already sufficient. Another international agencies are IRENA, and IRENA has stated that Indonesian demand growth of 3.3% annually. And they established two scenarios of growth. One of them is transforming energy scenario, TS. And the impact of TS is reduction of Indonesia demand growth from 3.3% to 2.7%, while the 1.5 degree Celsius scenarios will result in 2.4% of demand growth. This is something which probably has a direct consequences to our aim to achieve one of the countries out of 10 major global economies in 2045, 100 years after our independence. So, the impact of energy transition towards achievement of economic growth has made my government a lot of headache to fulfill this promise in Paris Agreement 2015 and also at the COP26 in Glasgow last 2020. I will also recommend that to develop renewable energy market, which currently are absent in Indonesia. Indonesia has adopted a structured industry or regulated industry, so practically market price is determined by the government. And I think it's a bit wrong way to develop a market, and we need to not only to think and plan, but also to convince our politicians that the market is good for Indonesia. Another international agency, ADB has come and approached us with the program also called ETP, Energy Transition Plan, in which the retirement of coal plant will be incentivized. And ADB also proposed electricity sector restructuring. This consists of separation, generation from holding, consolidation of system planning, transmission, and system operation into a separate entity, and consolidation of generation procurement and single buyer. All of this has provide insight and also pressure to the government to go along the way to create their own roadmap. Let's see what the government said about this. The government of Indonesia stated that the emission target of 2030, which is 2,869 million ton emission equivalent, in the business as usual scenario, will be reduced into 1,195 million ton of CO2. That is already an enhanced of 915 million ton, because the business as usual scenario calls for 2,869 emission. Out of that, emission of energy sector 656.3 in 2020 will be increased on a business as usual scenario to 1,009.5 MTOE, and we promise to reduce it to 681.6 million ton by 2030 and 129.4 by 2060, where we plan to achieve net zero emission. So practically what we said to the global community is that Indonesia will try so hard, but we cannot meet the target of 2030 as a peak of emission. We might need a little longer time to achieve that. And of course, by the end of 2060, we promise that we have zero emission. So what is in the pipeline to achieve this? Let's start with what Reggie, my friend, has stated in his lecture yesterday. There are several items. I have here 13 points which Reggie took as an energy transition strategy in India. And let's compare this with PLN. Solar PV, for instance, yes, we do have a solar PV program, 1.2 gigawatt, up to 2030, and 4.8 gigawatt solar rooftop by 2060. Not much, but that's probably the right step, the right direction, towards the right direction. Our energy storage system, and now we are thinking about mainly developing pumping storage system, because we do not yet believe that Indonesia can economically develop battery energy storage system, because the price are still expensive for us. Plan and PJCI transmission, yes, we did that. We have planned to build a super grid connecting islands of Indonesia, but we put a date attack of until 2045 for them to be completed. Carbon market, we just started the carbon market in Indonesia. Regulation has been established to allow cap and trade mechanism to the power plant, and also to develop independent carbon market. Ancillary services, we haven't known that. It is not in our electricity regulation yet. Ancillary services is currently the expense of PLN. The demand response, PLN has launched a program so-called Beyond Kilowatt Hour Meters, and basically PLN has introduced several innovative ways to communicate with the consumers through PLN mobile, through various channels. I bring with me to guy from Icon Plus, the PLN subsidiary on IT and communication, which is currently working on developing platform for 1.2 million customers, which will be connected with smart meters within this year. The aim is to have 5 million customers by 2025, and you hear what Reggie says, we have around 75 million customers waiting for this smart meter. Smart microgrid, we has launched a program so-called digitalization, in which we convert 200 megawatt of small-size diesel plant located in 100 islands to become a green energy generation through the project is currently under procurement. The other difference with India is PLN is embarking on implementation of carbon capture utilization. Why? Because it's the fact that the main point, the main part of Indonesia which create emission is only nine locations. Some of them are in Java, especially West Java, and another is in East and South Kalimantan. So, and the location of the emission are located nearby the gas field, which currently has been vacated. So it provides ideal storage facilities for carbon. I understand that the technology is still evolving, but hopefully we can be our first countries who implement this, considering that 60%, 70% of our distribution fleet are now coal-fired power. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the progress that we have in Indonesia, and I come to the conclusion that this is a very good event for us to share with you, to learn from you, and again, I shall congratulate Indian Market Forum, especially to my old friend, Reggie, for the successful event of ISUW 2023. Let's hope the cooperation between us under the banner of Global Smart Energy Distribution will flourish and resulting on multiple benefit for all of us. Let's not make zero emission to become net zero illusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Eddie.